right. So today you might want to grab, well, if you do have 2 blocks, please do grab them. Otherwise, you'll be flat on your back in Supta Baddha Konasana, which is where you bend your knees apart and bring the soles of your feet together like this and lie completely onto your back. Now, if your knees are lifting uncomfortably away from the floor, you could place something like a block or a pillow under each outer thigh, preferably that they're the same height. And the closer to your hips you place them, that's more supportive if your knees are really lifting high. Now, if you do have blocks, we're going to start in a back bend, a heart opener as well, placing the tallest block at the back end of your mat for underneath your head like a pillow, and the medium height of the second block crossing the mat, spacing the blocks apart in a way that you're able to keep your pelvis on the floor, lie back, and lean right underneath the bottom tips of your shoulder blades, right about here, onto that lower block, encouraging the chest to open and lift. The shoulders will roll back down into the space between, and then the back of your skull will be supported by the taller block. Now, if you only have one pillow or one block, you could place it underneath the shoulder blades and then just let your head hang, maybe tilting the chin back. Find a way that's comfortable for you to begin in this position of rest. And as you make your way there, allow a moment to just wiggle the shoulders out. Let them release away from your neck and down towards the floor. Helping to open the chest, turn the palms to face up and let your arms just rest on the ground, slightly away from your sides. So such a physically opening posture in the hips and heart energy center. Areas that we'll physically be focusing on today, among other things. So if you're part of our Facebook group, our Root to Rise Yoga Zoom community, I posted a YouTube link to Brene Brown and her TED Talk called The Power of Vulnerability. She is a wonderful social worker with many credentials who spent many years researching vulnerability. I've cited her before in our past classes, but I just want to give a quick synopsis of that TED Talk. So she says that our feeling of purpose as humans, what gives us a sense of meaning, is the ability to connect. Connection. That's why we're here, according to her. But there are obstacles to our ability to connect, and one big obstacle is the feeling of shame. Shame, as she defines it, is the fear of disconnection, ironically, which makes us feel, is based on feeling unworthy of connection. Now let's go to the positive side. What allows us to feel connected is having a strong sense of love and belonging. We talked about the 7 main energy centers or chakras. Remember that root one, the very first essential one, is feeling that you belong in this world, feeling that you belong within a group, feeling accepted and loved. And when we can believe in our own sense of worth, then it opens up the ability to live our lives wholeheartedly with connection. And to Brene Brown, there are 4 essential components to living wholeheartedly. One is having courage. As she defines it, by its origin, the root word core, meaning heart, courage is to tell the story of who you are with whole heart. Also essential is compassion, being able to have empathy for ourselves and each other. The third is connection, and that is done through being authentic. The fourth is fully embracing vulnerability. And she goes on to say that what's vulnerable about us is what makes us beautiful. How interesting to have that understanding. So vulnerability, according to her, is what enables us to be able to take risks, like being the first one in a new relationship to say, I love you. And to be able to lean into discomfort. able to digest and sit with feelings and emotions and change things that are challenging for us to sit with. Now, she also mentions that we cannot selectively numb emotions, as what becomes also another obstacle to being able to connect. Ways that we may try to numb vulnerability are distracting ourselves by spending a lot of money, being in debt, or distracting ourselves with overeating, obesity, or addictions, or self-medicating, or trying to make what is uncertain certain, like certain religions that say this is the only way to do it. Or trying to be perfect, like getting rid of parts of your body just because you feel that it's ugly or not accepted. Blame, she defines, is a way to discharge pain and discomfort. There's another way that we try to numb our own vulnerability. And then she ends the talk with a wonderful message to let ourselves be deeply seen, to love wholeheartedly, even when there's no guarantee, to practice gratitude even during difficult situations, and to believe that we're enough. We are worthy. If you'll remember a few classes ago, I quoted Michelle Obama saying, we can't afford for us to wait until we think the world sees us as equals in order to start sharing our voices, to believe that we are worth being seen. So how does that all relate to the yoga practice? So many energy centers tapping into through this discussion so far: compassion, worthiness, heart energy center, truth, being authentic to who you are, embracing even our imperfections, because nobody is perfect, the throat energy center. So let's awaken these through physical practice, intention setting, focus, meditation, observing our minds, and intentional breath. So lying down, if you have blocks underneath your head and rib cage, just gently remove them so that your back is flat on the floor, if not already. And then bring your hands to your outer thighs. Begin to draw your knees together as you lie on the floor, and start to circle the thighs together and apart, adding some motion in the sacral energy center, the ability to flow and adapt with change. Maybe you start to rock side to side with the knees together, or forward and back. Take a few rounds of motion to lift your body upright and sit tall and anchored. And once you are sitting, close your eyes, let your hands rest on your lap, palms face down, with the intention of feeling grounded, connected to Mother Earth. Feel the ways in which you are supported, nourished by our planet. The air you breathe, the firm foundation for your body to be still on. As you listen in to what you are feeling right now. Do you have an intention to set for your practice today? As you firm downward, allow a deeper inhale. Open the mouth as you exhale and feel the rise of energy up the center line of your body through your crown. Deepening your breath, feeling its presence. Let's join the hands to meet at the heart, sealing our intentions by chanting one sound of Om, awakening the throat energy center too. Take a deep breath. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your nose. As you close the lips, feel the belly and lungs expand using your diaphragm. We're going to prepare to start 1 minute of Bhastrika or bellows breath. It's done by beginning with the elbows bent, hands like fists. And as you inhale, you raise the arms and spread the fingers wide. And as you exhale, you rebend the elbows, refist the hands, all while breathing into your diaphragm through the nose, eyes closed. So let's prepare for 1 minute of bellows breath. Ready? Begin. Deep breaths, enlivening your lungs. And relax. Just pause a moment, breathe naturally. Observe how you're feeling. Let's continue to energize the body as you softly whisper the breath in and out through your nose using Ujjayi Pranayama, victorious breath. So gently narrow the back of your throat, sustain your breath equally with the mouth closed. And as you listen to that balanced and calm breathing, allow those qualities to penetrate your mind state and physical being. Softly open your eyes. And let's come down to all fours. Setting your knees right underneath your hips. Spin out your fingertips so that we can give the inner wrists and forearms a stretch. Whatever degree feels good, you might turn your fingertips towards the outer edges of your mat and your knees. Slide your heels of your palms slightly forward of your shoulders. And now let's move in cat-cow Betalasana. As you breathe in, lengthen your chest forward before coiling it up into cow pose. As you breathe out, contract your abdomen, dropping your head and tailbone to round into cat. Keep going. Inhale, lengthen the lower back and arch right under your shoulder blades where we had the block in our position at the start. Exhale, round. And take 2 to 3 more cycles of breath here, gently stretching the front and back of your spine as you loosen up your neck. Stretch your wrists and forearms. Now exhale into a neutral spine, spinning your index fingers forward so they're parallel to each other. Wrists still slightly ahead of the shoulders. Tuck your toes, lift your hips high, and come into downward facing dog, allowing any motion that you might feel inspired to do. Or stillness. Feel tension along your neck. You could turn your head in different directions and allow your neck to let go. Let your head, your skull be heavy as you firm your palms flat into the ground, lifting the shoulders back and away from the neck. Broaden the shoulder blades apart by rotating your triceps or outer upper arms towards the floor. Feel free to bend your knees as much as you need, especially at the start, so that you can truly lift your hips to the highest height possible and draw your weight towards the rear edge of your mat by firming the fronts of your thigh bones back.
Now let's begin to hold still for a few more breaths if you haven't already, gazing at the floor towards your feet. See that your feet are hips width or wider apart and parallel to each other. Whether or not the heels are on the ground, keep firming the sitting bones up and back, elongating the sides of your torso, the sides of your neck, and throughout the center of your spine. 2 more breaths here in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now with your next inhalation, glide forward into your version of plank pose. Stack the shoulders over your wrists, look ahead of your hands on the ground, and either keep the legs straight, firming the heels back, or lower your knees for added support. Either way, lift the lower belly. Try to maintain the feeling of a flat back. And with a slow exhalation or a few breaths, glide forward, bend the elbows to hug your side ribs. You could lower the chin first if you want to modify coming down, and then slide the belly to the floor. Otherwise, pass through Chaturanga. Lower your forehead and point your toes firmly against the mat, crawling your fingertips outside of your mat, in line with your shoulders. Bend your elbows apart and keep the pelvis heavy on the ground, knees lifted in the activity of your legs, and then roll the shoulders behind you, lifting the chest, look forward on the ground. Breathe in. Now roll the right shoulder further back and down as you look over it behind you. Inhale, look forward again. Exhale, look over the left shoulder and rotate it back and down. And then take a few more rounds here of any organic motion of loosening up your neck and shoulders. You might even softly circle the head. You might circle the shoulder blades in isolation onto your back ribs. Feel the pelvis weighing heavily on the ground. Tops of your feet firmly rooted too, all in support of lengthening your lower spine. Now rest your forehead on the floor and bring your arms wide apart like a T, palms face down. With your ankles hips width apart, begin to press the heels back with pointed toes so actively that you lift your legs straight off the floor. Now begin to coil your chest up, lifting your heart. Look on the floor ahead. We're here for about 5 breaths in Shalabhasana. From your shoulder joints, begin to turn the fronts of your shoulders more to face your front wall in effort of turning the palms to face forward. So not at the wrists, but at the shoulders. Keep drawing the shoulder blades down your back, elongating your tailbone towards the space between your heels and paralleling your feet by spiraling your inner thighs towards the sky. Take 1 more breath, lengthen and lift. And then plant your hands so your wrists are alongside your floating ribs, and tuck your toes behind you as you hug the elbows close to your sides. Take a deep in breath, look forward on the floor, engage the belly and push up through your plank pose. Bend the knees and lift the hips back into downward facing dog. Inhaling, raise the right leg behind you, squaring your hips, draw the left hip back. As you exhale, bend the right knee towards your nose, rounding forward to softly step the right foot just inside of your right hand. Come onto the ball of your left foot in a high lunge, or lower the back if the latter allows you space in your neck and shoulders. With an in, allow your pelvis to feel heavy as you expand your chest up and look forward. Exhaling, draw your right outer hip back, elongate forward. As you straighten your right leg, fold inside of it. Inhale, rebend the right knee just over the heel into a lunge, lifting the chest. Exhale, straighten the right leg by scissoring right hip back while you fold. 2 more cycles of breath. Inhale into your lunge. Exhale and fold. All the while, be mindful of maintaining the natural space at your throat. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, scissor and fold. Return to the lunge with your back knee on the ground. Scoot your left knee back another inch or 2 and keep your fingertips down as you firm the right heel to the floor. Let your tailbone anchor towards the earth below it and even slightly forward as you firm your belly towards your back, away from your inner right thigh. Broaden the chest.
and try to find that feeling that we started with if you had a block under your shoulder blades in the very beginning, lying down. That lift in the chest and how the shoulders descend behind you. Lengthen through the back of your neck, the back of your skull for 2 more breaths as we open up your left hip flexor. Keep scissoring the right hip back. Take 1 more deep breath here. And straighten the left leg so the back knee is off the floor. Come into a high lunge. With your left fingertips on the ground or a block directly under your left shoulder, use your right thumb and hook the outer crease of your right hip, drawing it back and down as you bend the front knee toward right angle just over the heel. Lift the left thigh away from the floor by pushing the left heel towards your rear wall. So feel the balance and height of both hips. Maintaining that, breathe in and stretch your spine forward down the center line of your mat. Shoulders away from the neck. Exhale, twist spine, turning your chest to face the right wall. Now raising the right arm towards the sky, feel the lift through the right fingertips, more so than the weight of your left fingertips downward. Broaden the chest with each breath. Hug your outer hips still as you continue to rotate your rib cage for 2 more breaths. Then set your right hand down and step back into downward facing dog. Holding still for 3 consciously balanced breaths. Listen to the sound. As you keep your hips balanced, inhale, raise the left leg behind you, drawing the right hip back. Exhale, round forward, bending left knee towards your nose to softly step the left foot inside of your left hand. Come into a lunge that works for you, whether you lower the back, keep it lifted. Then as you breathe in, let your pelvis sink as you float your heart up. Exhaling, begin to straighten your front leg, scissor the left outer hip back, but elongate your chest forward and folds. Let's keep flowing. Inhale, rebend the left knee right over the heel, gaze ahead. Exhale, scissor the left hip back, lengthen the spine and folds. Inhale to lunge. Exhale, scissor, straighten the leg and fold. 1 more time, inhale, lunge. Exhale, scissor and fold. Now lower the right knee in a lunge. Scoot the right knee back another inch or so, giving your right hip flexor a bit more flexibility. And root the left heel still as you continue that inner scissoring of the left outer hip back so that your hips try to evenly face forward. Now firm the belly towards your back, away from your left thigh. Visualize lifting your 2 frontal hip bones towards the bottom of your front ribs, like little suspenders pulling them up. Allow your tailbone to lengthen downward as you broaden the collarbones, deepening the breath. Feel the lift through the back of your neck, back of your skull. Taking 2 more deep breaths here. Now tuck the right toes, come into a high lunge, lifting the back knee. Right fingertips are on the ground or a block directly under right shoulder. Use your left thumb and hook the crease of your left outer hip, drawing it back, tacking it down as you bend the front knee just over the heel. Firm the right heel back and lift the right thigh away from the mat, leveling your 2 hips. Breathe in and stretch your spine further forward down the midline of your mat. Now at your waistline, exhale, turn your chest to face your left wall. Drawing the shoulder blades down your back, raise the left arm so that your palm faces the left wall and feel more of the rise up through the left fingertips, lessening the weight of your right hand. A few more breaths here. Keep firming your right heel back, sinking your left hip down, and hugging your outer hips to still your lower spine.
Generating the twist deeper across your waistline as you rotate your ribcage. Let's take one more breath. Set your left fingertips down and step the right foot forward to the top of your mat to fold. With feet parallel, hips distance, bend the knees into a modified chair so the thighs are also hips distance parallel. Extend your arms forward and turn the palms to face up by rotating the triceps down. Plug the shoulder bones back and lower them as you lengthen through the sides of your neck. Glide your weight towards your heels. You might have to lift the toes, that's fine. So peek down and make sure that you can see your toes. Then from here, gaze forward and broaden your chest. Begin to lift your arms towards overhead, stopping at the point before your shoulders might start to shrug, shortening the neck. Now feel your front ribs. Hug them towards the back of your body and anchor your tailbone further down. Last 2 breaths in this modified Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward. Crawl the fingertips ahead. Come into a half forward fold for a few breaths. Elongate your spine as much as you can parallel to the floor and lengthen your neck. Now keeping the hips squared, inhale, raise the right leg behind you, flexing the foot like a modified warrior 3. As you exhale, called Shiva squat, bend both knees and cross the right leg behind the left leg as though you're about to sit to prepare for a seated twist. But we're not going to sit down. Inhale, re-extend the right leg. Back to that modified warrior 3. 3 more. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, re-extend all the while looking forward rather than collapsing chin to chest. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, lengthen the right leg back. Now keep the right fingertips down. Raise the left arm slowly, and you're in a spinal twist. Few breaths. Open up the left side of your chest through the reach of your left fingertips. If you need, you can walk the right fingertips a bit more forward of your left big toe, more towards your center line. Flexing the right heel back, elongating the crown of your head forward. Last 2 breaths. Find space throughout the neck. Feel the leveling of your hips. And exhale, lower the left hand, lower the right foot, and fold. From down to your feet, inhale, circle the arms overhead to rise up. Now imagine a cactus shape as you bend the elbows apart and coil your chest up. Few breaths here. Draw the tailbone downward towards the floor between your heels. Keep paralleling your feet and spiraling the inner thighs slightly behind you. Now lift your back ribs and create space in the lower back as you arch right under the shoulder blades. Taking one more breath to open the chest and lift your heart center. With an exhale, seal the palms and hinge forward to fold. Crawl your fingertips forward into a half forward fold and keep breathing here as you try to lengthen your spine parallel to the floor. Try to balance your 2 hips as you flex the left foot off the ground behind you, left leg parallel to the ground. Draw the right hip back. Breathe in, keep gazing forward. Shiva squat as you exhale, bend both knees and cross the left leg behind the right leg as if you're about to sit down to prepare for a seated twist. Don't sit down. Inhale, re-extend the left leg back. Modified warrior 3. Exhale, Shiva squat. 2 more cycles. Inhale, extend. Keep gazing forward. Same length in the neck the whole time. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, extend. So we're warming up the hamstrings and the glutes as you might already feel. Exhale, Shiva squat. Now inhale, extend. Keep firming the left heel back as if you're actually stepping against your back wall. It might help to move your left fingertips a little closer to your midline, so about a foot in front of the right big toe. Keep your hips leveled, raise the right arm up so the palm faces your right wall, and keep elongating your spine, firming the belly in, twisting at your waistline so your chest turns to face the right wall. Feel the reach of your right fingertips, lessening the weight of your left hand. Does that sound familiar? We were doing that earlier. Broadening the right side of your chest. Take 2 more deep breaths. Keep elongating, expanding, and twisting. Now set your right hand down, set your left foot down, and fold. From down through both feet, inhale, circle your arms to rise all the way up. Exhale, the hands meet at your heart for Surya Namaskar B, 3 rounds. Bring your feet to touch for full chair. We're gonna go right into breath-led continuous flow, meaning 1 inhale, 1 exhale per motion. Bend your knees together and inhale into chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift the chest into half forward fold. Step to plank to lower through vinyasa, or exhale, lightly land chaturanga dandasana. Breathe into cobra or upward facing dog, firming the tops of your feet down. Engage the belly to help lift your pelvis back into downward dog. Inhale, raise the right leg, squaring your hips. Exhale, lightly land the foot inside the right hand, feet hips width apart. Dropping the back heel, inhale, rise slowly facing forward into warrior 1. With an exhale, lower into plank through vinyasa at your own pace of breath. Meeting in downward facing dog. There, inhale, raise your left leg. Exhale, land the foot inside of the left hand, feet are hips distance, drop the back heel. Inhale, rise up into warrior 1, facing forward. Exhale, lower into your choice of vinyasa, which could be cat-cow if you want to tone it down or change it up. When you arrive in downward dog, hold still. Steady your gaze on one spot and feel into the steadiness of your breathing. Our practice of not fidgeting when we're holding a posture is really, I believe, essential. That will help us in meditating. Bend your knees, look ahead of your hands. At the end of your exhale, lightly land your feet together at the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. Knees together. Inhale, sit back in chair pose. Exhale to rise twice more. Keep flowing. Inhale, back to chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Step back or float back. Insert your own vinyasa and keep flowing to your pace of breath. I'll cue you in case you need it, but you're going on your own. From downward dog, inhale, raise the right leg. Exhale the forward and drop the back heel. Inhale, rise to warrior 1. Exhale, lower, insert your vinyasa. You have many options. If you need to skip the vinyasa and save some fuel for later, feel free to do that. From downward, inhale, the left leg lifts. Exhale the foot forward, drop the back heel. Inhale, rise to Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, lower through Chaturanga Dandasana, or your flow. Then back to downward dog in stillness with awareness of breath and space. Then at the end of your exhale, as you're ready, lightly land top of your mat, feet touch. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold. Knees touch. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale to rise up. Last one, inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen forward. Step or float back. your vinyasa. From downward dog, inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step it forward. Inhale, rise to your fullest expression of warrior one, and exhale, lower, riding the waves of your breath. Through your vinyasa to downward dog, inhale, raise the left leg. Exhale, step it forward. Rooted, rise up. Virabhadrasana 1, then let it go. Back to flow. In downward dog, in stillness, deepen your awareness. Bend the knees, look forward. At the end of the exhale, lightly land your feet to touch. Inhale, lift the chest, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bow, Uttanasana. Knees together. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. And exhale to rise up. So facing you, I'm gonna mirror you, shifting your weight onto your right foot. Turn out your left leg and flexing your left foot, cross the ankle just above your right thigh. Bending the right knee to sit in a one-legged chair. Draw your sitting bones back as evenly as you can. Draw the lower belly in, hug the front ribs in, and broaden your chest. Now you could keep your hands like this. You could raise the arms overhead, playing with your balance further, or deepening the hip opener, you could lower your fingertips on blocks or the floor, or maybe on a wall, crawling the hands down. Keep flexing your left foot in a way that you're pressing the big toe mound towards the right side wall, unable to see the sole. Draw your sitting bones back. Those of you that practice arm balancing, there is flying single pigeon, where you bend the elbows back, create a shelf out of your upper arms, wrap the top of your left foot around the right upper arm, gaze forward, shift forward, perhaps lifting the right foot, right leg off the ground behind you. But as you're ready to come out of this balancing pose, whatever way you colored it, join your hands at your heart, press down with your right foot, and inhale to rise. Stepping the left foot down, shake out the right leg or roll it out. Bring your feet to touch, spread your toes, and stand tall, mountain pose. Then shifting your weight onto your left foot, turn out your right leg at the hip, flex your right foot, and cross your right ankle above your left knee. Join your hands at your heart and bend your left knee, evenly drawing the sitting bones back and down as you find a slight lift in your lower belly. Broaden the chest forward and steady your eyes, steady your breath. You might explore raising the arms up, extending the fingertips down on blocks or the ground. Keep flexing your right foot, pressing the big toe mound towards the left side wall. If you're moving into arm balance, plant your hands flat, shoulders width apart, one foot in front of your left toes. Bend the elbows back to create a shelf out of your upper arm, stacking your right shin across that shelf. Wrap the top of your right foot around the left upper arm. Gaze ahead of your fingertips to help you shift your weight forward, hollowing the belly as you root to rise, extending the left leg back perhaps and flexing the foot off the floor. As you feel you're ready to come out, join your hands at your heart, standing on your left foot, press into the floor, and rise up. Let it go, step that right foot down, move it out, shake it out. And let's separate the feet wide apart, facing the wide width of your mat. Parallel your feet and bring your hands behind you to clasp. Bend your elbows close together and roll your shoulders back, taking a deep breath in as you lift your heart. Hinge from your hips, but firm your belly towards the back as you bow. letting your head be heavy to relax your neck. Keep shifting more weight towards the balls of your feet. And with a slight bend in your elbows, raise the arms towards overhead, away from your lower back. Feel that openness across your chest. Now lift the shoulders up away from your neck. So in this version of Prasarita Padottanasana, let's take 3 more deep breaths. Feel the support of your front thigh muscles, your quadriceps. You could bend the knees if that allows you to feel more length rather than rounding your spine. Last breath here. Now bend the knees, lead with your chest, and inhale slowly, lift the spine upright. Pivot your feet to face the front of your mat and cartwheel your hands into plank pose. From plank, we'll stay for a few breaths. Bring your feet to touch, firm the heels back, lift the lower belly, and broaden the shoulder blades. Look ahead of you on the ground. Now, trying to keep your 2 hips leveled rather than seesawing left and right hip, slowly lower left elbow in place of left wrist, coming onto your forearm, with as little motion in the hips as possible, and then right elbow coming into forearm plank. Broaden the chest forward as you look ahead of your thumbs, and keep sending the shoulders back. Lengthen the back of your neck. Imagine you're trying to buckle the mat by sliding the elbows and the toes towards each other. Keep drawing the tailbone towards the space between your heels. Now, again, trying not to waver the hips. Replace your right elbow with your right wrist, coming back to plank. Replace your left elbow with your left wrist, and elongate again. Chest forward, breathe in, breathe out, last round. Keep the hips leveled. Replace right wrist with right elbow. Replace left elbow or root left elbow down and come back to forearm plank. Elongate the chest forward, broaden the shoulder blades, lengthen the back of the neck. 2 more breaths. Inhale, exhale, firm the heels back. Inhale, lift the lower belly. Exhale, slowly lower the knees and the pelvis, Sphinx pose. You might feel good to turn your head side to side or drop one ear to one shoulder. Maybe to just flutter the lips out if you've held any tension in the mouth. Then set your forehead to the floor and scoot your knees closer together. Bend your right knee, flex the right heel towards the sky, and root down your 2 frontal hip bones. Extend your arms back, thumbs face the ground, palms face each other, and begin to kick your left heel back. Broaden the chest off the floor, and maybe even lift the right knee. Now, if your hands can catch hold of your inner and outer right ankle, go ahead and hold that too. And if they can't, just keep reaching the arms back. If you have the ankle, kick the right leg towards straight as well as you pull the foot towards you to help lift and broaden the chest. Not cranking or straining the back of your neck. Let's take 3 more breaths. Keep elongating your tailbone towards your inner left heel. Press the mound of your left big toe back, and lifting the heart, soften the tops of your shoulders down. Now relax the face. 1 more inhale. Exhale, release, and turn one ear towards the ground. Breathe in and open the mouth. Breathe in, side out. Scoot the knees close together. Parallel your feet. Rest your forehead on the ground. Bend your left knee. Flex your left heel towards the ceiling. Ground your 2 frontal hip bones. Lift the arms back, thumbs face down, palms face each other. Begin to kick the right heel back or push it back to lift the right leg off the floor. Maybe you even lift the left knee as you coil the chest up. Perhaps you even catch hold of your left ankle on both sides with both hands, kicking the left leg towards straight as you pull the ankle to help further lift the chest. 3 more breaths. Keep rooting your pubic bone down, elongating your tailbone towards the space between your knees,
and relaxing the tops of your shoulders down as you relax the face. Right across your heart center, take a bright, deep breath. And let it go. Turn the opposite ear towards the floor, pigeon toe your feet, and take a slow inhale into your abdomen. Open the mouth and sound it out. One more just like that. Deep belly breath in. Through the mouth, let it go. Now plant your hands alongside your floating ribs. Press up, tuck the toes, and lift back to downward facing dog. Inhale, raise the right leg back. Exhale, bend the knee. Turn open at the hip. Draw the left hip back. And softly step right foot between the hands. Spin back heel down and cartwheel your arms into warrior two. Right away, hold still for 5 deep breaths. Steady your gaze. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Hug the right hip in. Inhale. Draw the sitting bone down. Exhale, 3. Relax the eyes. Inhale. Exhale, 2. One more breath. Straighten the right leg and scissor the hip back. Triangle pose. You might like a slightly shorter stance. Lower the right hand on your right leg or just to the right of it. Keep wrapping the right sitting bone under your body. Elongate the spine forward. Broaden the chest as you open the arms. Use the lift of your left fingertips to feel lighter in your right hand. 3 more breaths. Half moon pose. Bend the right knee. Walk the right fingertips forward and to the right of your right pinky toe. Shift forward, flexing the left foot off the ground. We're going to add Chapasana. Bend your left knee towards your belly. Use the left hand to catch hold of your left shin or the top of the foot. And begin to kick the left leg towards half moon pose, towards straightening, while you pull the foot towards you. And open up the front of your left shoulder, turning your chest completely to face the left wall. Firm the belly in. Draw the right hip crease towards the rear wall and elongate the crown of your head towards your front wall. Feel the counter forces of left leg kicking and left hand pulling help to lighten the weight of your right fingertips. Last 2 breaths. Ardha Chandra Chapasana. Now slowly straighten the left leg, bend the right knee, and try to softly land warrior two, stepping the left foot back. Once there, cartwheel the hands and go right to downward dog. Raising your left leg up towards the sky, bending your left knee and turning open at your left hip. With an inhale, draw your right outer hip further back. And as you exhale, lightly step the left foot directly between your hands. Spin the right heel down, cartwheel the arms and rise up. Warrior two, holding 5 deep breaths. Steady your gaze. Inhale. Exhale, ground through both feet. Inhale, feel the left sitting bone wrap under your body. Exhale, 4. Inhale, firm top of the right thigh bone back. Exhale, 3. Breathe in, feel the reach across your arms. Exhale, 2. Relax the face, 1 more breath. And exhale, straighten the left leg for triangle. Perhaps shorten your stance a couple inches. Draw the hips back. Reach the left hand forward and down onto your left leg, or just to the left outside your leg. Keep wrapping the left sitting bone under your body and grow your spine forward, sliding the shoulders down your back. Last 3 breaths here. Feel the reach of your right fingertips, helping to make your left hand feel lighter. Ardha Chandrasana. Look down ahead of your left foot, bend your left knee, crawl your left fingertips forward into the left upper corner of your left foot. Drag the right foot forward and flex it, lifting it back into half moon. And keep the breath steady as you bend the right knee towards your belly.
using your right hand to catch hold of right shin or top of right foot. Begin to kick the right leg straight as though trying to return to half moon pose while pulling your foot. Open the front of your right shoulder and turn your chest to face your right wall. Draw the left hip back, lengthen the crown of your head forward, and keep firming the belly towards your spine. Last couple of breaths. Ardha Chandrasana and Chapasana. Slowly re-extend the right leg through half moon pose. Bend the left knee and softly land warrior two. Once there, straighten the left leg and let's come up to stand. So we did an inversion practice yesterday called L-shaped pose against a wall. If you have a wall, find one. If you don't, I recommend you practice dolphin pose, which this is going to be a variation from. So it's adding on to dolphin. It's called Pincha Mayurasana. It's standing on your forearms, lifting both legs, but we're going to use the wall as support. So finding that wall, we're going to start in dolphin pose. Let me make sure I move this plant far away enough. And you want to just come down to your hands and knees with your feet right up against the wall. The heels are pressing against the wall. And then come down close to the wall as possible to lower your elbows to the floor. So we're going to start in dolphin pose. And as you feel comfortable, if you want, I'll demonstrate real quick and then I'll walk you through. So from here, you'll either have the forearms parallel or interlace the fingers. Making sure the elbow out, you just come back down to your knees and readjust. We broaden the shoulder blades, extend the chest forward. Be mindful of maintaining space throughout your neck. Then we tuck the toes like dolphin. Notice that it's a much closer dolphin, feet are closer to the elbows, but you want to prevent the shoulders from overhanging past the elbows. You want the shoulders either right on top of the elbows or slightly back. So you're pressing the chest back and firming the belly in. From here, we'll start to press one foot into the wall, crawling the toes up, walking the feet up until you might be able to lift one leg vertically as you flex the foot and hug your midline with your hips. You might switch sides, trying to feel that you're not banana backing, which means overarching the lower back. So let's start. Come down onto your hands and knees, your heels touching the wall. Place your elbows on the floor. Find the foundation of your forearms you like for dolphin pose. Either interlace the fingers or palms flat. Then rotate the triceps back, just like we do in downward dog, to stabilize the shoulder blades across your upper back. Lengthen your neck by pressing the shoulders away from it. Sink your chest down slightly and tuck your toes, lift your hips up into a very short version of dolphin pose. Now, making sure your elbows stay shoulders width, either let the head hang freely so you're looking towards the wall, or you can more actively look forward towards your thumbs. Keep lifting the shoulders away from your neck and begin to walk your feet slowly up the wall, really energizing the way you press into the wall with your feet. So once you're able to lift the legs up, hug in the front ribs and begin to lift one leg straight up, like I'm grabbing your ankle from the ceiling and pulling it so the tailbone lengthens towards that inner ankle. As you point or flex the foot, you can switch sides. Trying to keep the pelvis right above your shoulders and that lifted ankle right above your pelvis. When you come down, keep your head low and rest in child's pose for a few breaths. Now, whether you practice downward dog, this Pincha Mayurasana again, or dolphin pose regular, find one more inversion to practice that's heated. Maybe 5 or so breaths. Nice.
Awesome. So if you're doing the L-shaped pose, beautiful. Feel your front ribs hugging in like we were focusing in chair. Nice job. Yeah. So take any version of child's pose for another 3 breaths as you come down to rest.
Then slowly walk your hands back towards your knees. Tuck your chin towards your chest. And with an inhale, slowly roll up to sit.
Bring the legs in front of you as we prepare for cow face pose. You might want to grab a strap. You want some support for any tightness in your shoulders. So extend the left leg forward and cross your right thigh over the left so much that you might be able to line up your knees on your center. Either keeping the bottom leg straight or bend both knees into the full version where you splay the feet apart and gently flex them. Just making sure your pelvis is evenly grounded. Then with your right leg on top, raise your left arm holding the strap so the tail is hanging behind you. Rotate the left tricep forward with the help of your right hand and bring the elbow behind the center of your head to land your left palm between the shoulder blades. Reaching your right hand under behind you, grab the other end of the strap or your shirt and walk your hands as close together as you can, maybe clasping the fingers. Then firm down through your sitting bones, lift up through the center of your spine, broaden your chest, open your throat, and slide the shoulders down. With the heart leading, so as not to collapse the chin to chest, lengthen your spine and hinge from your hips. Slowly, breath by breath, into Gomukhasana, cow face pose. Giving the hips and the glutes some release as you open up the lower back some more and open up the shoulders. Let's take one more deep breath here. Lead with your chest and inhale, slowly rise. Releasing the arms, shake the legs straight, maybe shimmy out the shoulders. And then take your left thigh to cross over the right, either keeping the bottom leg straight or also bending that knee, splaying the feet apart. Raise the right hand, holding the strap behind you, and wrap the right tricep forward, bend the elbow behind the center of your head. Reach the left hand underneath, grab the other end of the strap, or hold your shirt with both hands and walk your hands as close together as you can. Maybe they clasp. From down to your sitting bones, lift up through the center of your spine and broaden your chest. Now leading from the center of your chest, hinge from your hips, slowly with each breath. Cow face pose. As you feel the rootedness of your pelvis, feel your spine lengthen from it. Last deep breath here. Then lead with your chest and inhale to slowly rise. Release the arms. Find a comfortable seat. I'd like to guide you through a short practice of alternate nostril breathing, which will lead us into further cooling down into Shavasana. So find a way to sit up tall and evenly grounded through the left and right sides of your pelvis. You might eventually close your eyes. As you find the pattern of this breath work, continue at your own pace whenever you feel ready. So rest your left hand on your lap, perhaps bringing the thumb and first finger to touch. Open up your right thumb, pinky, and ring finger. Close the other 2 fingers. And close your lips. Sustain your breath softly through your nose. Empty this breath. Then hold it out. Right thumb, cover right nostril. Inhale through your left. Hold the breath in. Last 2 fingers cover left nostril. Exhale through right. Hold the breath out. Inhale through right. Hold. Right thumb, cover right. Exhale through left. Hold. Inhale through left. Hold. Cover left. Exhale through right. Hold. Inhale through right. Hold. Cover right. Exhale through left. Take a couple more cycles on your own. Finishing this last breath, release your hands onto your lap and close your eyes. Breathe naturally. Just feel into the effects of it. Slowly make your way onto your back, adding perhaps one last spinal twist, lying down, opening the legs up in a calm, cooling manner. Unless you'd like to just drop right in to Shavasana. Allowing your body to be still, to feel grounded and supported and fully accepted in this nurturing practice you've gifted it. And yourself, the work on your body and the practice of focusing your mind and being intentional with your breath. All ways of acknowledging that you are worthy, that you are loved and belong. So let yourself marinate in that feeling. to allow your body to continue to rest, your breath to continue to flow naturally, trusting all is good and working perfectly. I'd like to lead you through a chanting of positive affirmations that were gifted to me by a healer. Her name is Karen Adams. So whether you'd like to lie down and feel these words that resonate with you as they do, or sit up, whether you'd like to repeat these words in your head, find a way that's meaningful for you to get what you can out of the energy of these words. So saying these in first person, imagine saying these to yourself. I am lovable and worthy of love. I believe in myself and release all self-doubt. I am enough and I am good enough. I let go of all thoughts that do not bring me joy. I love every part of what makes me who I am. I am abundant in health, wealth, and happiness. I am open to limitless possibilities in my life. The universe supports me always. I am doing my best. All I need is within me. I embrace my life path. I am that I am. Breathe it in, whatever might have resonated with you. Breathing out, release the ability to allow. Start to move your body if you're still lying down, and in your own way, gradually lift your body up to sit. Physically connected downward towards the earth, but also uplifted and open in your heart space, your crown, to the unlimited possibilities that surround you. Join your palms to meet at your heart. Let's close the practice using our voices to connect in the vibration of Om once. Take a deep inhale. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.